Okay, I'm not sure if you guys heard that intro, but I hope you did. I hope you didn't. Let me just let me just check something here. If I go to properties, okay, it's not properties. If I go to audio properties, okay, the volume on intro says monitor only, mute output. So what that says to me is that you guys did not hear that intro, which is intended because it was intended to come through my mixer, whose audio was turned off. Anyway, that's just me making sure that I'm not deafening you guys every time I start a stream. Excuse me? Controller? Whoa! Nintendo Switch. What the fuck? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this game called Picross S? Oh, it is. Okay. Okay, hang on. We gotta switch this to Picross S. There we go. I didn't realize this game was called Picross S. And not just Picross. Because I put in Picross as the name and it was like, please choose a supported game. And I thought that was a bit odd. I'm just playing some Picross. Wait, I just thought of something. I just had an idea. I just had an idea that I have to do. This is gonna be great. You guys don't even know. All right, here we go. Let's just bring that down here. And there we go. I think that significantly improves the stream. Okay, wonderful. Now, anyway, this puzzle has been a nightmare. It is the hardest thing. Okay, so I think I found something, though. It's like, whether it's like this is a 1 and then a 2, or like this is a 1 and then this is a 2, either way, this one can't be full. Right? Yeah, that's correct. Okay, it's actually kind of obvious now that I think about it. Alright, great. Now... Does that help me? No, because like this one could be this and this. Or that. Or it could be like this. Or that. So... that actually isn't very helpful. Okay. It's something. It's not nothing. Okay, what about this one? This could be this, that... okay, yeah, no, this could be whatever the hell it wants to be. Fuck. Okay. Uh-huh. What up, Voogie? Maybe I'll give the explanation of how this game works if like 1 or 2 more people ask. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to explain it 5 times over the course of the day. Be patient, my grasshopper. You will learn in time how the game works. Okay, does this have to be... Yeah, this can't be a 4. Wait, what am I doing with this spot? This can't be a spot, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh, no, that still doesn't help. Or does it? Okay, that means that this one could be this. Or it could be this. Fuck, that doesn't help. Oh my god. Okay. Ugh. This puzzle, this is the hardest puzzle I have ever seen in this game. And like, the thing was, for one time in my life, I skipped a Picross puzzle and I went on to the next ones. And the next ones were super easy. So it's like there's some kind of logical mechanic that I'm missing. Let's really dig into this line. It could be this, and that would just solve it. Or it could be like this. Or that, and that would just solve it. It could be like... Whoops. It could be like this, and that would just solve it. Hang on, though. I don't think this one can ever be filled. Yes, that's an X. Okay, now that is an answer. Okay, we've done it. We're in there. Because that means that happens, which means there's this, which gives that. Oh! I don't know why I didn't see that earlier. Wait a second. That busts this puzzle open, what I just found. What the fuck? How did I miss that before? Oh shit. See, I knew if I started streaming it, I would just immediately find the answer. Okay, now we are on cruise control. Okay, I still have no idea what this might be, but this is like that. And then like that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We're not in the clear yet. Oh, except, okay, no, there's that. That's big. So this is a 1 and a 2, which I think means it has to be like that. Okay, yeah, we've done it. Now it's just, we just fill in the blanks now. Every puzzle ever. Alright, when we get to the next puzzle, I'll talk about how this game works. I think it's that. Yeah! What is it? Oh, I thought it was a pile of shit. Okay, it's a ring toss, I guess. You know, The picture is completely inconsequential to the amount of fun that the puzzle is. Alright, so here's how this game works. Alright? So if you're wondering, I hope you're paying attention. The numbers represent strings of dots that are on that row or column, depending on whether they're written on the row or column. So what that means is this bottom row right here, it's got the 4. That means that somewhere on this row, anywhere, there are 4 dots in a row. That's very important. They are together because it's just a 4. Now a 1, 2, 4 means that somewhere there's a 1, and then with any amount of space in between them, somewhere there is a string of 2, and then with any space in between them, somewhere there is a sequence of 4 in that order. All right? So there you go. Hi, Ariel. So what does that how do you begin to solve puzzles? Well, you look for spots where there isn't enough room for there to be spots that might not be full. For example, this 6 could be here, or it could be here, or it could be here. You can move a row of 6 around so that any one of these spaces might be filled and it might not be. So a 6 is not enough information to get anything. But a 10 and a 1, now we're talking. Because it's only a 15 by 15 grid. Which means a 10 could be as far down as this. Or it could be as far up as this. But no matter where you slide that 10 around, these 5 are definitely always going to be filled in. Oh yeah, now this one also has a 1 on it. And you know what that means. You betcha. That means that this thing can slide down, can only be down even 2 more. Because the 1 is going to take at least these 2. At least those 2. Which means that the 10 is going to be at most 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 down to here. That's as high up as that 10 can go. But it still can only go down to here. So from a 110, we know that these 7 blocks have to be filled. And there you go. That's the start. That's the beginning of where we go. So now we look for several more examples of that. Like here's a 6, 5. Let me tell you a more advanced technique. 6 plus 5 is 11, plus 1 minimal space in between is 12. 15 minus 12 is 3, and 3 is less than both 5 and 6, which means guaranteed there are things to find on this column. So I'm just gonna mark out how far up they can possibly be, and then we just count up from the bottom and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, boom. So that's how you really quickly do the thing that I just spent a half hour explaining. Okay. Hey there, Disc Drev. Alright, so we got 7, 8, 9, plus 3. Yeah, so we're gonna get something out of this 5. So 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, and then we go 1, space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kaboom! Hi, Melon! And there you go. Alright, alright. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Won't get anything from that, so nothing from that. Okay, so we've done all the columns now. That's all the information we can get out of the columns. Rows. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nope. This one's got a 6 in it, though, so that it's likely. 7, 10, 12, 13, 14. Oh, 15! These ones add up to 15, which means this row is just done for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. There you go. So that row is just done. So this one is going to have something. There's a 2, and then there's a 1, so then we go 1, dash, 1, 2, dash, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there we go. God damn it, I knew this was gonna happen! That I would explain this game for a half hour. And then it's just gonna be me explaining how it goes. The whole time. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh! You hear from Obst Discord? Oh, nice! Obst is wonderful. Okay. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. So then we go 1 dash 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you don't get anything from that. Okay, so I think that's all the info that we have. So now we need to start... Now we need to start seeing what we can eliminate. So, this column right here has a sequence of... Or it has yeah, it has 4 in a row on it. And one of them we already know, judging by the row, is this one. Which means it might be 3 more up, it might be 3 more down, or any combination of those, but none of those combinations result in anything other, or anything involving any of those. So now how kind of the Picross flow goes, is that now that we've changed all of these rows, we need to look at them and see what more information we have about them now, which is generally going to be something like 1 space 1, 2, 3, 4 is now going to be required, because now if we go 1 space 1, 2 space 1 space 1, 2, 3, 4, this one we now know must be filled in by the 4, because as far left or as far right as this 4 can possibly go, these 3 are going to be filled in. We knew those 2 already, but then knowing that this one was not the one, pushed it 1 further to the right. So there you go. 1, 2... Oh, this is interesting. So we know that this cannot be the 2. This square that I'm highlighting cannot be part of the 2 because it can't go left. Because if it went left, then there's not enough room for these 2 1s. And it can't go right because then that would make a 3. So this we know is one of the 1s. So we can block it off. Now we don't, let's see, and also if we go like 1, 1, and then go 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. There's not enough room for this to be the 2, because there's not enough room for a 3 and a 1 after that. Or there's not enough room for this to be the... Wait. Oh yeah, there's not enough room for this to be a 1, so it must be the 2. And then that actually just fills out nicely. So, there you go. Basically, what I'm getting at is this game is fucking awesome. Alright? You know, it takes a little getting used to, but once you're used to it, this game just fucking rules. And it's really, really hard to stop playing. I wish I could save and quit, though. Is that a thing you can do? Because I would like to show you guys a simpler puzzle so that Melon can understand. Melon, after this one, I'll do an old simpler one, and then like a 10 by 10, and it'll all make sense. Okay, so now that we've like filled in this, it puts in a bunch of stuff. Yeah, the 3D one was generally pretty easy, I remember. I didn't play all of it. Okay, so here's another move. Basically, it's really weird to think of them as moves, but there's a lot of moves you can do in this game. Such as, right here you'd recognize that with a 2-1-1, that means only the top one is a 2, whatever that is. So anything that's not currently the top block, we know has to be a 1. We don't know this is a 1 or a 2, we're not sure, but we know that this one has to be a 1 because there's only one thing above it that's not a 1. So there you go. So we can block that off, and then like usual, that means now we take another look at all the rows that we just disrupted, or not disrupted, but we gained information on. So the question is, does the 2 have to be in here? This row ends on a 2, and if it has to be in here, then this one has to be full. But we're not sure. What if it goes 1, 2, space, 1, 2, oh, okay, so space, 1, 2, 3, space, and then there's not room. So yes, the 2 has to be in here. And because you can only slide a 2, you know, here or here, this one's full. Now, up top, there's not enough room for this to be the 5, so it must be the 1. So we can block all those off. Since these are the 5s, kaboom. We know that. And then there's only room for that. Yeah! Thanks, Disctra. I hope to see you around on Ob's channel. He's one of my favorite streamers. Okay, so we got 1, 2, space, 1, 2. So this can't be the 3 because there's not enough room for 2 2s over there, which means the 3 must be this, which means this is 2, and then that one has to be full. There we go. Okay. This column has nothing more than 2s on it, so if you ever fill in 2, you know you can block it off. Alright, here we go. I don't know what I'm doing. I think this has to be a 1, right? Yep. Okay. Alright, it's time to start jamming. I'm gonna start really jamming. There's not room for 2. Instead of like over-explaining all of my moves, I'm just gonna start jamming. We know that. So, boom. I don't know why I didn't do this a million years ago. Okay, there we go. 5, 6, okay. And now, if you ever see a move and you're wondering, like, why doesn't he do that move? It's so obvious! Look, I'm probably looking at a different part of the puzzle than you are. There's a lot of squares here, alright? I only have 2 eyes, and unfortunately, both of my eyes need to be pointed in generally the same direction for me to make any sense of what I'm seeing. So I can really only look at one part of this puzzle at any given time. So, you know, there's a chance that I'm dumb, but you also gotta remember that I'm probably just not looking at that part of the puzzle at that particular time. You know, you do like a weird circle pattern in this game as you play it, where like, you know, this affects that, and then that affects that, and then that affects that, and then that affects that, and, you know, you kind of like move in a weird, you know, that comes down here. You'll start like generally seeing like a circle moving when I really get jamming with the way that it goes. Oh god, I thought you had 2 eyes. So yeah, I really like this game and I can't stop playing it. So I just thought we'd relax for a little bit and play some Picross. It's fun. It's a fun video game. Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah. Boop, boop, boop. Boop. Uh-oh. Did I fuck up? Nope. Boop. 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 Oh, I already knew that. Boop. Ooh. Oh. 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 Now we're jamming. Let's see. 2, 1. 1, 2, 2. I think that can only be done like that. I know, Disca Dev. You know what happened to me, Discra, is I didn't even know that this was out on Switch. I was watching Bananasaurus Rex, and he got really frustrated at Mario Odyssey. He, like, died to a boss, and then just, like, without saying anything, just, like, closed the game, opened Picross, and started doing a puzzle without saying anything. And it was very funny, but more importantly than it being funny, I was just like, holy shit, Picross is on Nintendo Switch, and I've played a lot of it since then. Okay, yes, 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 yes. Uh-huh. 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 Ooh. Oh, we done it. Died to a boss once and quit? No, Melon. From context, I gathered that he died to the boss several times. And it also was a boss that took a very long time to beat because it was like the last thing. It was a saxophone. All right, Melon, I'm gonna do a 10 by 10, and it'll hopefully you'll see what the score is. All right, so here we go. Let's do this thing. So first of all, let's get rid of this automatic thing that it does. Fuck it. All right, so now we're just gonna do what it did. Hey, there's zeros. So, oh right, I should explain the basic premise. Okay, so 2, 4. What the numbers mean is that anywhere on this row, there is a sequence of, or there is a row of 2 that are in a row, and then with any number of space between them, which cannot be 0, it cannot be 6 in a row, there's gotta be space between them, but any amount of space, anywhere in here, there is going to be 4 on that row. In that order. So, for something like this, 2 and 4 can't fit on either side of this X, so we know that the 2 has to be somewhere on this side, and the 4 has to be somewhere on this side. Now, that's not very helpful for the 2, because if it's here, or if it's here, we don't know, and that could be anything. But over here, the furthest left that the 4 could be is these 4, and the furthest right that it could be are these 4, which means that either way, no matter where you put this 4, because again, it can't fit over here because there needs to be a 2 there, these 3 are going to be full. So boom, we know for a fact these 3 have to be there. And then you just use that information to do the rest of the puzzle. Except, this one's, like, really easy because there's a bunch of 8s. And shit. So, you know. When something fills up the side. Okay, alright, but let me talk about when something fills up the side. Now, I was talking about how, like, okay, so you know that there's a 2 within these 4, but you don't know whether it's here, here, or here. Which leaves the availability for any one of these to be either off or on, so you don't get any information from that. Well, this 1, 8 on the column fills up the entire 10 by 10 space. The only way that 1, 8 can fit in here is just to completely fill it up. You know, 1, and then 1 spacer, and then there's 8 left, right? Now, when something's on the left side, when you fill up a border, that's the greatest thing that can happen to you in this game, because now the only place that this 2 on this row can fit is right here. Because we already know that one of them is this one, and it can't go any further left, so it's got to be this. And then you put a stop at the end of it because, you know, that's it. That's your 2. And then the 1 and the 4 are going to happen somewhere in here. And so when you get a border, you just look at that number, and you just know that the first number you can just fill out. 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3. Boom. And yeah, you know. And then the rest of this one is pretty self-explanatory. But like right here, oh, we have the right side filled out also, so you can also do the same thing for the last number. Whoops. Like that. And then the only things left are that there's a 1 here and there's a 1 here, so, you know, put them in, idiot. There you go. So that's a really easy puzzle. And then as the puzzles get bigger and have smaller numbers in them, you start to have to do a bunch of complex moves. So let's go. Alright, so 7 there. So I always check the borders first because they're the most helpful, but this one doesn't have anything helpful on the borders. Here's a 611. So like the really fast thing to do is just to put it all the way to the left. Put all of the things as far left as you can, and then count going as far to the right as you can, and any that double up, you know that those have to be done. So if it was on the right, you'd go 1 space 1 space 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, so this one, part of the 6 has to be right there. It can't go any further right than that because there needs to be room for the 2 1s. So boom, we know that. And like I was saying, whenever you make a change to a row, that gives you information for that column. And this column says that it's only got a 2 on it anywhere. And if now we know, because of information that we had from the row, we know that one of that 2 is right here, that means that there can't be anything anywhere around here. Because the 2 is either this or it's this. And those are your only options. And none of those do any of these. I played a bunch of Picross for the Game Boy, and that's it. So I don't really know how much exactly that is, but ooh, there's not enough. Okay, I love this. So now that we put in all these X's, we got information about all these rows, right? For example, this row starts off with a 6, which there's not enough room for over here. Can't be any of those because there's not enough room for a 6 in there. Same thing down here. This 7, not enough room. However, that leaves very little room over here for 7. Which means we can very easily get some information here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh! Now we're getting excited, right? Because this is on the border. And the border gives us a ton of information. 1, 1, 1, 1. And then this one goes 3 up. Boom. And now, okay, so there's not enough room for this to be the 2, so it's got to be a 1. And that puts, okay, yeah. Oh, and then, again, we just made a change to this row, which means now we get information on this column, which is that there's not enough room for a 3 to be down here because the last thing on this column is a 3, so we know that this can't be filled in, and that informs us exactly how far this 7 goes, because now we know that the 7 starts right here, because this is an X, so we can fill in these 2, which is more border talk. Boom, boom, boom. Love it. And now we know where the 2 1s are for this row. So now there's only a 2 left, which means it can't be right here. Bloop. Alright. And now because we've taken away 2 from this column and from this column, we probably can get some... We can probably get something done here. So we count off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alrighty then. 1-1-1-1, 2, 3. Okay, so this can be part of the 3. So we actually don't have any information there. Hey, Ghost. Okay, here's a move I haven't talked about yet. I say when something is on the border, that means that you know that it starts there. Well, it's actually almost as helpful to have something just one off of the border, because we know that it could be this, or the very furthest out that it could be is this, which still leaves us all of this information where it has to be this many. You still count out from the wall to get your amount. You just don't have a solid cap on the end, and you don't have a cap at the beginning. You have to leave it open, but it still does give you information. Same thing here. Here's a 3. Oh, wait, we don't have information because it could be over here. Anyway, that's that. All right. Oh, geez, I've been talking a lot. I gotta get some sustenance. Kraja, I love math. I would do your math homework on stream. All right, let's, so speaking of math, you can really math it up in this game if you want. That same thing that I was talking about where you decide, you figure out whether you have enough room. Like, let's say this 3, 1, 6. Instead of going 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then counting it out from the bottom, you can go 6 plus 1 plus 3 is 10, plus 2 dividers between them is 12, and we only have 13 spaces available. 13 minus 12 is 1, and 1 is less than the largest digit of this column, which means we for sure have information to glean. And then we can also take that 1 and say, okay, we know that it's only 1 off, which means that there's 5, because that's 6-1-1, 2, 3, like that. Boom. So that's like a shortcut. Remember when I said things that are just 1 off of the wall are also pretty useful? Well, check it out. This is a 1, which means that this row ends in a 1. A 1 doesn't fit right here because it would be a 2, because there's 1 to the left of it. So we know that that's a 1. Oh! And that closes that down to that. Oh, we got that going on. That going on. Now we know this. Okay, now it's jam time. Now it's time to game jam. Pop. That was a more advanced version of the bounce off the wall. Okay, let me explain the more advanced version of the bounce off the wall. Okay, so it's not helpful to have a 2 here because, you know, we don't know. And then, that's a good way to put it, Kraja, maybe. So we know that, there might as well, the thing is there might as well be a border right here as far as this 4 goes, because this 2 could be here or it could be here, which means that the furthest right that everything could be would be having a border right here. For this 4, this is 3 off the wall, which means you put in the 4th one. Boom. And then that's 3. This one starts with a 3, so we know that that's that. Boom. Now there's a 4 in here, so we know that those 2 have to be filled in, because the 4 could be those 4, or it could be those 4, or it could be those. But either way, these 2 are filled in. And since the 2 is the beginning of this row, we can do that. And then there's only 1 space. Column-wise, there's only 1 space in here. So any row that can't fit something as small as a 2 in it, we know there's nothing in there. And then, hey, Darren. Sounds good, Ghost. Also, this is a 3, which is the beginning, so we know that there's nothing over there. And then, oh, it's 1, 1, 1. That's actually, that just fits. Okay, perfect. Oh, so there you go. There you go. That's Picross. Whoops. I do a lot of accidental drags in this game. Like where I fill something in and then try to menu over somewhere else and I fill in the one to the right, you know? Just by going like, hey, I want to hit this and then go right. I'll like hit him too fast and do that. I do it a lot in this one. I don't think I ever did that in the Game Boy version. It's so good. I'm playing this game because it's fantastic. It's super fun. And if I get too frustrated at a puzzle, then we'll play Mario Odyssey. Okay, so you got 3 here. Even though it looks like this could be 3 this way, or it could be 3 that way, it actually can't be 3 this way, because there's 1 over here, and you can't connect these. If this was your 3, then you're gonna put a 2 here, and then this wouldn't exist. And you can't combine these, because that would be more than 2. So, we know that this is part of the 2, and these are part of the 3. Final Fantasy 3? Oh, for the PS1. Oh, yeah. Final Fantasy, Anthology, it's called, right? Anthology? Oh, whoa, that was weird. And that one's 5 and 6. Okay. Anthology? Oh, yeah, Melon, yeah. Let me take you guys through the brief history of Final Fantasy, because it's silly. First Final Fantasy came out, and they brought it to the US. Good. Awesome. Then Final Fantasy II came out, and they didn't bring it to the US. Then Final Fantasy III came out, and they didn't bring it to the US. Then Final Fantasy IV came out, and they brought it to the US, but because we didn't get 2 or 3, they called it Final Fantasy II. Then Final Fantasy V came out, and they didn't bring it here. Then Final Fantasy VI came out, and they brought it here. They did bring it here, but because we only had Final Fantasy 1 and 2, or 1 and 4, they called it Final Fantasy VI. I mean, they called it Final Fantasy 3. So in the United States, we had Final Fantasies 1, 2, and 3. And then Final Fantasy VII came out. And they just called it Final Fantasy VII over here. Okay, great, good. I'm glad that they stopped doing the stupid thing, and they just called it Final Fantasy VII. So everybody was like, okay, where's Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6, though? And then... So, what they did then was they released Final Fantasy Anthology, which was Final Fantasies 5 and 6 for the PlayStation. I'm not sure, the next couple things I'm going to say, I'm not sure what order they came in, but they released Final Fantasy Anthology, which was 5 and 6. Now, keep in mind that 6 was already released here under the name Final Fantasy 3. So now we have 2 versions of the game. One is on the Super Nintendo called Final Fantasy 3, and one is on the PlayStation called Final Fantasy 6. Okay, and then they also released Final Fantasy... They released They released a package of Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy 4. I forgot what that one's called. It's called, like, Final Fantasy... I want to say Origins, but I don't think it was actually called that. No, it was something else. Anyway, it was Final Fantasy 4 and Chrono Trigger. Now, keep in mind, we already got Final Fantasy 4, except it was called Final Fantasy 2 here. So now, we have 2 different versions of Final Fantasy 2 and 3, which are called Final Fantasy 4 and 6 for the PlayStation. We still, however, keep in mind, we still don't have Final Fantasies 2, the true Final Fantasy 2, or the true Final Fantasy 3 at this point. At some point for the Game Boy Advance, they released Final Fantasy Dawn of Souls, which was Final Fantasy 1 and 2. And that was the actual Final Fantasy 2, which means now we have two different Final Fantasy 2s, one of which is actually Final Fantasy 4 for the PS1, and then we have that same game called Final Fantasy 2 for the Super Nintendo, and then we have Final Fantasy 2, which is a different game for the Game Boy Advance, which is the original. And it wasn't until the Nintendo DS that we got Final Fantasy 3, but we didn't get original Final Fantasy 3. Actually, that's the same thing for the Game Boy. We didn't get the original Final Fantasy 2. We still got a 2D one, at least. Anyway, then we finally got Final Fantasy 3, the missing link in the evolution of Final Fantasy. We finally got, as a remake, a 3D remake for the Nintendo DS, which then later they put on Steam and stuff. And then I think they also made a 3D version of 4 and maybe 5. So yeah, that's the brief history of Final Fantasy in English. I kept saying United States, but I'm really just talking about the English versions. Anyway, I know that that's a thing. It was very difficult to talk about that and also play at the same time, so I just didn't. Oh! There's information in here. Those two. Nice. Yeah, Melon. Fucking developers that don't release their games for every single country in the entire world. No! Only we get this game. I actually don't know about Kingsfield. I'm not sure how that game... I should really look into it because I would like to play Kingsfield at some point. But I'm not sure how, like, I know that the first Kingsfield was for PlayStation, but I don't know if it ever came out in the West. Oh, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Oh, okay, you played through Chrono Trigger? Alright, nice, nice. You enjoyed Chrono Trigger, but it didn't blow you away? Yeah, yeah. I was pretty damn impressed by it. The only thing I didn't like about Chrono Trigger was that I thought it was... And I know I say this a lot. But, it was a little too easy. Yeah, that's a thing, Disc Trev, was that, I mean, some Japanese games are very, very strange. However, we've got this little thing in the United States called weebs, and, they'll play fucking anything. So, you know, I think there's a market here. I think we've got a market here. Okay. The first Kingsfield is only Japan. The second came out, released internationally, but as Kingsfield 2 in Japan and Kingsfield for the rest. Okay, yeah, that's confusing. I hate when they do that. Remember when that Jackie Chan movie came out in China and nowhere else? And then they did translate the sequel and put it everywhere else? So it was like Armor of... you know what? I can't even tell you what it was. It was so confusing. It's like... Okay, the thing that I'm going to say is not... It might not be exactly correct, but it was something like this. The first movie was called, like, Operation Something. And then... It was like Operation Something... Army of God. Armor of God, I mean. And then it was like... They did release the sequel in other places... which was called Operation Something 2, without the Armor of God, but they released it everywhere else as Armor of God, and that was like the whole name of it, or something. It was like so dumb. But hey, maybe they do it on purpose because it makes people talk about it. If you know more about everything than somebody else, like if you have to do research on something like this and then you know more about it than everyone else, it kind of makes you like it more. Whoops. Oh, yeah, Darren, I mean, I thought that the characters were really, really good. And, like, every one of their side quests, like, if you 100% the game, all of their, which, like, doesn't take very much time, all of their side quests have, like, really cool things that are, like, special, and you feel more for the characters than usual, I thought. And then also, I thought the time travel mechanic was really cool, and it made the world more interesting. And I liked the battle system a lot too, where, like, positioning was important even though you didn't explicitly control it. And, like, the fact that you can play as any character. I mean, here's the thing. Like, Xenoblade Chronicles reminded me a lot of Chrono Trigger. Like, that would be the closest thing that I would compare that game to. I think we... Oh. This one's going pretty well so far. Yeah, I hear you. Can I play it with my drum kit? You know what? There's this little game on the PSP called Patapon. Boy, do I wish that they had done a stupid gimmicky thing where they released that game compatible with drum kits. Like, Rock Band was a thing. When Rock Band was really popular, why didn't they do like a Patapon remaster that used the drum controllers? Wouldn't that have been amazing? Patapon was awesome. Petta, 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 pun. Pun, pun, petta, petta. That's true, Kraja. I mean, okay, here's the thing, though. I say that's true, but really, actually, in my mind, I'm going, please don't encourage motion controls ever for anything ever. I mean, like, it sounds fun, but I'm done with motion controls. But yes, I mean, I agree, though. If anything deserves motion controls, it's Patapon. Man, maybe I should... Oh, wait, there's like no good way to stream that game. See, like, this puzzle was easy. I mean, I guess I didn't do it very fast, but like... Shut up. Cardboard controls? You know, I am very curious as to see how that goes. Once you finish 6, you're gonna skip 7? Why? Because it's overhyped? Because that's a good reason. It's overhyped, sure. But it's really good. I don't know. It's the best one. Nice. Yeah, I don't know what to think of this labo thing. It looks real weird, but like, I don't know, it might be cool. Oh, okay, you're just gonna do it to troll people. Well, Darren, you could always just play 7 and say you didn't. Well, Melon, if you spill a drink on the cardboard part, then you can just get a replacement cardboard part, which should be very inexpensive, you know? Like, yeah, Nintendo's idea is that using cardboard, you can make inexpensive stuff where like the software is what you pay for. And I can get behind that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how well it's going to work, but I'm excited to see. You spill a lot of drinks. Well, yeah, that's, Kraja makes a good point, Melon. If you want to do something that's fun in VR, you know, would you rather spill coffee on some cardboard or on your HTC Vive? However, okay, let me also put it out there that the cardboard thing is not Nintendo's idea necessarily. They are just expanding on the... Wasn't it a Google thing where they made like a cardboard? They made a cardboard thing that you put your phone in and then you wore it on your head and it like was VR on your phone just with like a cardboard thing that you folded up. I'm pretty sure this was already a thing that happened. Yeah, Google Cardboard. Yeah. So, you know, I feel like it's just it's an extension of that. that broke this open. This game is so fun. Just nice and relaxing. Am I a fan of Pokemon? No. I mean, Pokemon's aight. Like, I like the idea of Pokemon. And stuff. I think some of the Pokemon designs are really cool. But, I've never, like, really been in... Well, okay, when I was a kid, I was into Pokemon. When I was, like, a kid, I was a fan of Pokemon. But at some point, I fell off and just... I've never been interested in anything that's not the Johto League, which I didn't even know what that was called, ever. It was just the original 151, you know? Okay, let's talk about that. The Switch being powerful enough for VR. Are you sure Labo or Labo? I think it's Labo, like laboratory, right? Like lab. I'll be in my lab. I don't think that it's necessarily VR, is it? I think that they showed maybe a couple instances where it could be VR, but I don't think that it's officially a VR thing. I think it's just a bunch of ways that... Okay, let's separate this. So, I think that Labo is less... I think that it is less about... It's less like Google Cardboard. There we go. It's less like Google Cardboard, and it's more like all of those Wii accessories. You know all of those Wii pieces of plastic that just held your Wii remote in different ways? Like the steering wheel, and the zapper, and the 5,000 off-brand zappers? I think it's more like that. It's just a really inexpensive thing that holds your controller in a way that makes it work. So yeah. I don't think that it's a big VR thing. I think that it's more just Nintendo finding a much better way to have you have a unique controller for every game. Because that's what they liked to do with the Wii. They wanted every game to have its own controller, you know? To use the motion controls in different ways. And this will just do that. But instead of a bunch of plastic laying around, you'll have a bunch of cardboard that folds up and stuff. I did that opposite. There we go. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Right, Nintendo likes to have, like, weird ways to control games. Like, have a robot look at the screen and move little things around that push buttons on the controller, you know? Like, Nintendo loves to do weird stuff like that. And I think that this is what that is. Right. Yeah, yeah, what Kraj is saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not like a VR thing. In fact, what I brought up about Google Cardboard earlier is I think maybe what is confusing people about it, or what is making everybody associate it with VR, is probably the fact that Google Cardboard was a thing. It's the opposite of VR. I could see that, yeah. Like, instead of putting you in the game, it's putting the game around you. It's like being in the HoloLab, except it's made out of cardboard. There we go. Wait, except, okay, there's one thing I gotta bring up here about what you guys are saying. You're talking about how weak the Switch is. Do you see the video game that I'm playing in front of you guys right now? This game can only be brought to you by the power of the Nintendo Switch. I don't see how you can be naysaying this system when I'm sitting here, you know, drawing penises on your screen with squares. Oh, I know. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I just wanted to make a dumb joke. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This just fills. Boop. Yeah, I'm sure there will be one at some point. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking, Kraja. I think that's why a lot of people are associating it with VR, is because, number one, Google Cardboard is a thing, and number two, if you think about Google Cardboard, where you're putting your phone inside of a cardboard headset, the Nintendo Switch could be put inside of a cardboard headset just as easily. Oh, that just fills out too. Yeah. Picross. Wait, oh shit, I fucked up. Uh-oh. You guys, I fucked this one up. we gotta start over. Okay. Yeah, have a good night, Distroy. It was nice to meet you. I hope to see you again. Okay. There we go. Uh-huh. 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 Mm-hmm. 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 What up, Metalhead? Oh, hey, Meow Mix. You disabled uBlock Origin extension? Oh, like you... Oh, you have an extension that, like, makes your browser not know where you're from? Or something? I suppose that would make sense, because it like... You know, there's, like, viewing statistics for videos that include, like, gender and all that. This is Picross. It's a puzzle game. The original puzzle game, or the original was Mario's Picross on the, whatchamacallit? Game Boy. This was originally Mario's Picross on the Game Boy, but this is the latest for the Nintendo Switch. Obes, how are you? It's good to see you. I should do that, Meow Mix. Actually, okay, so let me know if this is stupid, but there was something I was talking about on the Discord that I want to know your guys' opinion on. What I would like to do is make a series that is basically just the introducing series, you know? Basically the same series, except more aimed at kids, and just the idea of, like, introducing a younger generation to retro games, specifically. Specifically being kid-friendly, and introducing kids to retro games that are cool, you know? I feel like they're, you know, they're, really what a big thing is that my brother-in-law, who is the father of my, nephew, said to me one day, he said, you know, if you had a video, it's not a stream thing, Kraja, this is a YouTube thing. He said, if you had a video of you, like, playing Mario on YouTube, he would just watch it all day. Like, he would just watch it over and over again. And I was like, really? You know, too bad I'm not kid-friendly. And so, but it got me thinking, you know, maybe there is an audience for, you know, or there's a niche for somebody who's cool, like me, because I'm awesome, and plays retro video games to, you know, show off some sweet games to kids that might not, you know. That's it. That's what I'm thinking. And you know, that's all I'm saying, is that I would just basically make, like, an introducing video, talk about mechanics, why the game is cool, what it was like when it came out, and why you should play it now, you know? Super Mario Bros, for example. Look how cool this game is. Here's how the mechanics work. Here's how cool it was when it came out. Here's how cool it is now. I suggest you play it now. Here are some tips to be better at it than your friends. Boom. Video. Super Mario Bros. Play it. And I think that that'd be a good thing. The only thing that I realize, I'm open to suggestions, by the way. I see an or ... you know, give it to me. Let's hear it. But yeah, the idea is that it make them not kid friendly at all. Yeah, you know, yeah. What was the other thing? Okay, so the only caveat is that it wouldn't really. The idea is that, like, let's say it turned out really well for me, you know? This idea. Let's say it turned out really well. It wouldn't really help out my streaming at all because I'm not kid-friendly on stream, to the point where I feel like just protecting the children, I feel like I wouldn't be able to have these videos would have to be a new YouTube channel, you know? It would have to be a whole new channel, and it couldn't link to this channel or my other YouTube, because it would be way too easy for a kid to go, for YouTube to automatically move on to, you know, this video where I'm talking about, you know, how, like, I scratched my balls today and my fingers smelled really weird afterward. Oh, but the reason that I brought this up is because I thought, I was thinking about Mario's Picross as being a good game for it. Because Mario's Picross is sweet. I actually bought a copy of Mario's Picross for Game Boy off of Amazon today. So we will be playing the original version at some point. But anyway, that's just a thing that I've been talking about. What's the face, Obst? Was it, oh, did I finish the puzzle and it blew your mind? The beauty of the picture? One day I'll be able to just know what those come out to. Forbidden May fruits? What's May? Oh, like meme? No, that's not part of the game, Kraja. That's, here, let me... Hang on. Give me a second. I gotta log into my other Twitch account. Oh, God, turn it off. There we go. It's that. Do we visit retro game shops? Yeah. So, there was a place, oh, shit. Hang on. Hang on. Melon brings up a good point. There we go. I think that's better. Okay. Oh, where was I? Oh, yeah. So, retro game shops. Yeah, there was a retro game shop just like 10 minutes away, and it was super nice, but they closed down, unfortunately. So now the closest retro game shop to me is like 40 minutes away, and it's in the city, kind of, so, like, it kind of sucks to go to. But I still go there just to support the retro game shop, you know? Like, I'll pay a little extra for a game in order to support a retro game shop, you know. Oh, shit. Look at that. That's a 6. Oh, look at that. Bop, 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 bop. Okay. What now? Oh, we know this. Oh, we already knew that. Damn it. But yeah, basically my idea is that it's not an original idea. It's just something I want to do just for fun. Which is just that, hey, there's a bunch of really good retro games, and kids need to be exposed to retro games. Kids need to have things exposed to them. And retro games is one of those things. See, that's exactly the kind of reason that it can't link to this channel, though, because I just made a pedophilia joke. Like, it just happened. I mean, it wasn't a very good joke, don't get me wrong. Okay. No. This is... Okay, now I'm stuck. That's exactly what I'm saying, Kraja. It would have to be a new channel, and it would have to be unlinked to this channel. That's all. Hmm. Oh, I'm an idiot! Oh, fuck, I'm stupid! Right. 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 Yeah. Okay. Ooh, we're cruising. Okay, so you know how I'm always complaining about how cold this room is? It turned out the vent was closed. Now, like, there are strange circumstances that lead to it being reasonable that I would have forgotten that the vent was closed. But the fact remains that that was the problem. You know, there's probably some advanced logic moves in this game that would blow my mind that I haven't thought of yet. Hey, you know that show The Big Bang Theory? Now, the show is a bit of a laughingstock as far as, you know, quality sitcoms go. But there is one line that was in that show that I think is really funny, that I remember hearing. There's something where somebody asks Leonard what he did at work that day, and he says, well, I'm in theoretical physics, so, you know, I thought about stuff. And I think that that's a funny line. I thought about stuff. It was funny! It's a funny line! Look, they said one funny thing one time, alright? That's my point! And the reason that I bring it up as a point of interest is because the show is generally garbage. Oh, fuck! Oh, I'm an idiot! Okay, there we go. That's better. Wait. What? Generally garbage. Oh yeah, Big Bang Theory. How's it going, Azure Foxy? Oh shit, no. Okay. Uh-huh. 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 Oh, fuck! Okay, so we got like a 2, and then there's a 3, which means we can't have either of these. 1, 2, 3 dash. Oh wait, it's just a 3. Okay, so that can be either way. 2, we got 9 in here, yeah. Oh! Oh, God! Okay, yep. Alright, well, actually, that didn't help very much. It helped a little. God, you guys should have seen this one puzzle I was on. It was ridiculous. It was like I would sit here for 20 minutes at a time, not making a single move. And then when I finally found out something and was like, oh my god, of course you do this. Then it would be like that just like wouldn't even help. You know, the flow of this game is supposed to get flowing, where like you make one move and it just like leads into another move and that leads into another move. But this one puzzle, man, it was just impossible to progress. Like that. You know, I did something, but that didn't even help. This always happens when it's just a bunch of 1s and 2s. But wait a second. Who said what now? Somebody's roommate watches Big Bang Theory several times a day, or several episodes a day? Oh, right, and young Sheldon. You know, I was talking about the Sheldon actor, where it's like, do you think that guy is ever going to get a role that is not Sheldon? Like, regardless of whether that guy can perform a role that's not Sheldon, do you think he will ever be cast as such? I found the seam. Now we're rocking. Harry Potter syndrome? What's that? Like what's that guy's name? Daniel Cliffberg or something? Is that the guy's name that played Harry Potter? What did I say? Did I not? Okay, you said, okay, Cliffberg is not correct. Daniel Radcliffe. That's Radcliffe. All right, all right. Look, I was like pretty close. Yeah, you know, if it was multiple choice, I would have gotten it right. Speaking of multiple choice, I was gonna bring trivia back today, but I did not prepare a question in time, and now I really wish I had. Oh, I also came up with an idea for a new gimmick. It's not ready yet. Yeah, I thought Harry Potter syndrome was kind of funny because, like, I can think of way better examples of actors who are only cast as one character. Like, Jason Statham, Bruce Willis, Vin Diesel. Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then, like, Jim Carrey was that for a while. Like, not, you know, Jim Carrey ended up proving his further acting chops later, you know? But for a long time, he was just Ace Ventura. Done it. Hacky Chan? Wait a second. That had better have been a typo. Foxy. You're not really calling Jackie Chan a hack. This is why you can never stop playing this game. You see how you just go to the next puzzle before you even know what happened? Yeah, that other guy, like Hacky Chad. Sorry, I have a cold. Do you guys remember the parrot sketch from Monty Python? And like the first thing is that he goes up to the clerk and he goes, "Excuse me, miss?" And the guy looks up and it's a dude and he goes, "Oh, sorry, I have a cold." Oh, man, that is a funny sketch. Because, like, it's one of those sketches where, like, that joke, the "sorry, I have a cold" when he calls the dude miss, is so fucking funny. And, like, by the end of the sketch, you don't even remember that joke because it's like such a small thing and so many more funny things happen. Wait, right? Yeah, that was correct? Yeah. You really do have pneumonia? That's too bad. Well, I hope you get well soon. Fuck. Okay. 3. You know, besides like besides the huge burst of Jackie Chan that we got in like the late 90s, the only like old school Jackie Chan movie I've seen was called Wheels on Meals. Not Meals on Wheels. It was called Wheels on Meals. And it was good. I liked it. It was really funny. Which I didn't expect. For some reason. I don't know why I didn't expect it to be really funny, but it was. Oh, and then I watched another one too. I watched oh, I just remember we were talking about Jackie Chan earlier. We were already talking about Jackie Chan today. We were talking about Armor of God, Operation Condor, I think it's called, right? Is that what it's called? Operation Condor? I watched that movie also. Oh, this is great. Also, on the last airplane ride that I was on, I watched Rush Hour again. I hadn't seen it since I was a kid. It was funny. I liked it. It was good. It was much less of like a cool martial arts movie like Jackie Chan makes, and more of a dumb like buddy cop comedy. It's better than average though. Like there were a lot of those movies, those like black cop, white cop, book smarts versus street smarts comedies, you know, in that time. But Rush Hour was a lot more unique in that it was like, it was also like a East versus West thing. It wasn't just black versus white and street smarts versus book smarts. It was also like a neat cultural or a neat cultural East versus West kind of thing, which I've always found very interesting. I'm very interested in the differences between Western and Eastern cultures. That's why I'm such a weeb. Even though I'm kind of not. I always say it, but like... well, I don't know. Actually, never mind. I am. Just for a moment, I tricked myself into thinking that you had to watch a lot of anime to be a weeb. No, I don't watch very much anime at all. I like it. I like anime a lot. But I like hardly ever actually watch it. Yeah. Right, that's kind of my same thing, Foxy. I spend too much time on Twitch to really watch anything else. Or sometimes I have an off-cast game. Like, I was starting to rewatch The X-Files, but now Monster Hunter came out and I'm just playing that all the time when I'm not casting. And actually, here's what's funny, though, about me saying I'm either watching Twitch or, like, now Monster Hunter came out, is that I spend a lot of time standing around in town in Monster Hunter, not playing it, just running aimlessly around the town because I'm watching Twitch. Okay. Gosh, look at the amount of 2s and 1s here. This is gonna be difficult. Like, I can fill things in the columns like this, but then, like, I look over at the row to see if I got any information, and it's like, nope, it's all 2s and 1s, idiot. Oh, well, that's pretty significant, though. Just checking if any of these 1s have to be a 1 or a 2, but it doesn't look like we have enough information yet. Oh, okay, that's significant. Oh, fuck! There we go. You read Berserk and your work breaks? I have not touched that series. In fact, I mean, if there's anything that I've done less than watch anime, it's read manga. When I was in high school, I read a lot of manga. I read, a bunch of Inuyasha, because I was a teenager. A bunch of Ranma 1/2. I remember reading one called Dramacon, which like had some sappy shit in it, but it was also like super funny. I kind of read more girls mangas than I read guys because I generally thought they were funnier. Oh yeah, I read Chobits. I mean, that one's only like 6 issues. No! No! Where did I fuck it up? Okay, I probably just... didn't need to fill in these. Yeah, that's what happened. Okay. Okay, I think this is salvageable. I think we can recover. It's like a really big deal when you screw up like that. But I think we might still be fine. Yeah. Yes, okay, I didn't ruin it. Whew. It's a damn, I guess. This game's got a lot of puzzles in it. All right. Yeah. Oops. Okay, this one's starting out with some big stuff. Uh-huh, uh-huh. One, 6, 1, 2, 1. Oh, look at that. I didn't even realize that was going on. What am I doing? This is 6, right? Oh, it's a 4 at the bottom? Oh, no! Okay. I think I just didn't do this. And, like, it should be this? And that makes sense? Okay. Yeah. Oh, I know, Foxy. I get winded so easily. I have no stamina whatsoever. Okay, I think I recovered. Hopefully I don't get screwed later. Because, like, that was actually wrong or something. Alright. Hey, did you guys hear about a certain man named Todd Rogers? It's a big deal in retro gaming and in speedrunning right now. Some news that happened. And it's interesting. Oh, is this gonna be this is gonna be a beetle. This is like one of those horned beetles. Yeah. Wow, I actually knew what one was gonna be. So the longest running, or the world record, the Guinness World Record for the longest standing world record of all time, for a video game, the longest standing video game world record of all time, was revoked from Todd Rogers. It was held by Todd Rogers for having the fastest time ever in Dragster for the Atari. So this guy, he had the world record for Dragster for Atari. He also held over 2,000 other world records for various video games. He had all kinds of world records, probably more world records than any other person ever. And all his records were on Twin Galaxies, who is a site that, like, makes you have a referee. They, like, regulate world records, and you have to do everything for a referee and that kind of stuff. Well, his Atari Dragster time was called into question. Well, it's, like, always been kind of disputed, but not, like, really. Except in 2016, a speedrunner actually broke down the game's code and analyzed the game line by line in order to find out, eventually, that the time that he claimed to get, which is a 5.51, is literally impossible to achieve in the game. And it's, like, proven. He proved it. And, like, I've heard also that a few other programmers looked at it as well. Like, after his findings, other people were like, what the fuck? And they looked into it. And everybody came to that conclusion that that his time that he claimed he got in the game, claimed that he got before a referee on 3 individual occasions, which referees confirmed all of them. This time is literally impossible to achieve in the game. And for the longest time, for a really, really long time, Twin Galaxies, the website that has all of his records, stood behind him, and they were like, and they didn't do anything about it, you know? They were just like, it's referee verified. And any time that everybody questioned him about it, or he was like on programs talking about it, he never played the game or anything. He never got another 5.51 and proved it to anybody with all the new technology that we have now to record gameplay and put it on YouTube and shit. No, he always just said, oh, it was verified by a referee 3 times. So it stood like that for a really, really long time. This puzzle's a nightmare, by the way. And then people started looking into all of his other records. Wait, actually, this puzzle might be easy. Because you can do that. Actually, that's not going to do much. People started looking into his other records. There was a game called Barnstorming for the Atari, where it's like you have to fly a plane up and down in order to avoid obstacles. And any time that you move your plane up and down, you lose speed. So the goal of the game is to move up and down as little as possible to avoid these obstacles. And his time was proven impossible in that game as well, because they like modded the game in order. Well, first of all, Ataz couldn't replicate it. Ataz's time was worse than his time. So then they modded the game to take out all of the obstacles so that you could just fly in a straight line as fast as possible through the level, and it was still worse than his time. So that time was basically also proven to be impossible. And a bunch of stuff like this came up, but like the website who holds these scores, Twin Galaxies, just like didn't do anything about any of these things. They just like stood behind him, and he was just like, yeah, it's referee verified. But then people started looking into all of his other scores. And they started finding things like, there was a game in which he claimed a score of something to the effect of 1,658 points. Something to that effect. But the game only increments your score in, like, 5s or 10s. So it's impossible to get a score that ends in 8 because of how the game works. Or, other stuff like Donkey Kong for the Intellivision, he had the world record of. And the thing about that one is just like, the runner-up score is like 300,000, and his score is like 1.5 million. Or no, it was 15 million. 15 million exact, by the way. 15 million points exactly. In that game he got, apparently. And the runner-up is like 300,000. Which is just fishy. And then there was one game where... there's a game called Wabbit, where like once you get to 1,300 or 1,600 points or something, once you get to a certain amount of points in that game, it just ends. It just kills you or something. It's actually impossible to get a higher score than a certain score in this one game, which his record claimed to have a higher score than. And for these different games, people, like, when they were really, really pressed about things. Sometimes excuses would crop up like, the Polaroid picture that was submitted that had the score on it had a coffee stain on it, so we just kind of guessed. And like that kind of stuff. And then, you know, there were things like, meh, I gave all my tapes to this one guy who's a referee, and his house got raided by the police because he's a child sex offender. That's true, he raped a child. And the police never returned the tapes, so they're just gone. Except then people called that police department and they were like, no, we returned any tapes. Any tapes that were at that house, we returned. And there certainly weren't the number of tapes that he claims. See you later, Kraja. And yeah, so there you go. That's, eventually, when all of this stuff started coming out, where people started looking at all of his scores and realizing that every single one of them was bullshit, and then pressure got really, really high, Twin Galaxies finally wiped every one of his scores off of their website and banned him from their website. Finally. And you gotta understand, this guy is like 50, you know? And he's had this record since these records since the 80s. So that was exciting. Well, that's exactly the thing, Foxy, is that people pretty much don't care about Twin Galaxies anymore. Like, how many of you guys have actually even heard of Twin Galaxies? Like, no one cares about them anymore. And I think that they kind of realize that they need to be more legitimate. Basically, what it sounds like to me, by the way, Todd Rogers was himself a referee for Twin Galaxies. Oh, I forgot about this part. This is almost the best part. Todd Rogers was a referee for Twin Galaxies for some amount of time, and even he admitted to entering his own scores into the leaderboard several times. Or no, never mind. He admitted to doing it once. Sorry, I messed that up a little bit. He admitted to entering his own score one time. Which this guy, who is clearly just a fucking pathological liar, has entered his scores countless times. In fact, probably most of them he entered himself. Probably. So, yeah. They, have you guys heard of the Ben Heck Show? They also brought him on to the Ben Heck Show to, like, see if he could replicate his time using a Taz, basically. Because the thing is, programmers have all agreed that it's impossible to get this time, which means you can't even get it with a Taz. And so Ben Heck, though, in order to eliminate the possibility that it's some weird thing with emulators and that you can only do it on a real system, Ben Heck, on his show, rigged up a real Atari in order to read RAM values and be able to Taz out something that would send inputs to a real Atari. And they had Todd Rogers on that show to do the Taz, to help him out, to be like, this is how you do it. This is how you get the 551. I've done it 3 times. And his contribution was just such, it was like he was just stalling and trying to make it inconclusive, you know? Like, everything that he said was just a bunch of fucking nonsense about how to control the game and stuff. And then, however, I was talking about that one guy, OmniGamer, who was the guy who originally looked through the game's code and determined that the score was impossible, he made an entire spreadsheet that replicated the game's logic, where you can enter in exactly the inputs on the exact frames into just this spreadsheet, and it will tell you the score that you'll get. And you know, and gave the examples of all the exact different ways that you could achieve the actual best time, which is a 5.57. That's the actual best time you can get in the game. And yeah, on that show, after like a bunch of bullshit non-answers with Todd Rogers, he was just like, well, let's put in OmniGamer's numbers. And they put in OmniGamer's numbers, and immediately, boop, 557. It works. And it's like, this guy is a fucking fraud. So yeah, finally, after this has been going on for a long time, they finally revoked his score, and then Guinness got rid of his record as well. Because his record with Guinness was just having the longest standing video game record. Oh my god, that's obvious! So yeah. That's a thing that happened. What up, Rocket Science? Like, what it kind of all sounds like to me, what it sounds like is a bunch of kids on a playground bragging and arguing about their video game scores. And when they're asked for proof, they're just like, my dog ate it. My dog ate the proof. I took a Polaroid picture of my score, but my dog ate it. That's like what it sounds like, except then these people who lie and brag about their scores, at some point, because it was the 80s and there was no authority yet, these idiots became the authorities on game scores, you know? That's what it sounds like to me. Yeah, Foxy. Like, I'm not big into speedrunning and stuff, but I do it a little bit. And yeah, like, I mean, who would cheat? It's so dumb. Like, how can you cheat and feel good about it? I guess it's because it's not about having the high score, you know? It's weird. Like, think about it. Think about somebody who would fake a score. They can't care about the score. Because, like, they're not going to be proud of the score because it's fake. You, like, I don't believe that someone's brain can possibly be actually proud of a score that they lied about and that they cheated for. What does make sense is just people needing to lie. You know? There are people who just, they want you to think that they're the best. They don't care about being the best. They want you to think that they're the best. And that knowledge that they convinced you that they've got everyone fooled, yeah, that's their rush. That's what I imagine, at least. I'm no psychologist, but it makes sense. 6-hour shift? Yeah. Right, well, not even Speedruns Live. Speedrun.com is the website. But, yeah, Melon. The thing about Speedrun.com is that every game is moderated by its own community. Which is the right way to do it. You know? Like, if there's shitty behavior on Speedrun.com... It's only that game, you know? It's like only that game is affected by a shitty community. Like the worst case scenario is that people are lying and cheating and ruining one game because every game is moderated by its own community. And that seems like the right way to do it. There's just too many games to do it any other way, you know? Wait, I've already done this. You disabled ASLR? What's ASLR? Oh, right. I know what ASLR is. Okay, this game is called Picross. It's a very relaxing game. Really good for when you're going to bed. And you want to play something relaxing for a bit. Is that even a thing in ASMR where they like make sound effects? I might have made that part up. It randomizes the addresses of executables to protect against buffer overflows. Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. Yeah, I get it. Orkin Man, what up? Oh man, now I really wish that I had brought my gimmick back today. Fuck! How's it going, Orkin Man? I was gonna bring trivia back today. Trivia, which was inspired by Orkin Man. However, I just didn't have time. I didn't have time to do it today. So I didn't bring it back today. Fuck! I am so garbage stuck on this puzzle. Okay, is it like this? Because this one can be that. Or it can be... Oh! Okay, this one can either be something like this. Or it can be this. But either way, that one's full. Okay. Alright, that's something. Yeah, the only reason I haven't done it in a while, Orkin Man, is just because I keep forgetting to make the new questions. It's kind of a lot of work to, like, put together the Photoshop documents every time and then transfer them to my streaming computer and update the OBS scenes. I'm curious. I gotta see something. What was our last trivia question? Let's... Oh, it looks worse now. Okay. All right, it looks really bad now. I'm gonna warn you guys right now. It looks really bad now because I actually have a mic now instead of this one. I didn't used to have this mic here, all right? That's why it looks so bad. Okay. What was our last trivia? I want to know what the last trivia questions were. Oh, I remember the last questions. Yeah. The last question was, with what product did Digimon, with what product did Digimon make its debut? This was a thematic episode. They were usually thematic. And the answer was, it was a digital pet. That was the first Digimon product. Now, then there was, and then the next one was, Pokemon. With which product did Pokemon make its debut? Which I actually had only recently learned. I only recently found out that Pokemon was originally a video game. I assumed it was an anime or trading cards, but it turns out that it was originally a video game, which is interesting because that honestly makes Pokemon a lot cooler. What up, Chaos Factor? I mean, I feel like that just makes Pokemon way cooler. The fact that the monsters were originally designed as video game monsters that you captured and then battled and stuff. Like, I don't know. It makes it make sense why the Pokemon trading card game is so convoluted. Because it's trying to mimic video game mechanics. It would be like if they, you know, like what if they, yeah, I don't, you get the idea. Okay, so now 1, 2, 3. So this can be the 2 or the 3. Because that's possible. But also, like, this is possible. This is Picross. It was originally Mario's Picross on the Game Boy, but there's been a few different Picross games, since then. And this one is for the Nintendo Switch. How it works is that the series of numbers gives you, I'm like ready to give up this puzzle. Unless I start guessing. We might have to guess on this one. But anyway, how it works is the series of numbers tells you the sequence of dots that are going to be on that row or column, but anywhere. So like 3, 2, 2 means that there's a row of 3, and then any amount of space between them can be there, but somewhere else then there's 2, and then any amount of space can be between the next set, which is another 2. So there's a 3 and a 2 and then a 2 in that order, but they can be anywhere on this line as long as they're in that order. It could be the 3 could be over there, this 2 could be right here, they could be all in a row like this, you know, we don't know yet. And so, very similar to Sudoku, you can glean things that have to be a certain way, and then use that to get information about other lines. For example, this dot right here, we know that this one has to be this way, because if you push everything all the way to the left, it would come out to this. And then if you push everything as far to the right it could possibly be, it would come out to this. And this dot right here is either the first or the last of the 3. No matter how you shift this row left or right, this one always ends up lit up. And then you got to take that, and we knew about this X because, okay, so now you take that you know, and you look at the column, and you see, okay, so the column starts out with a 3. Well, the 3 can't be the first 3, because that would make 4, because this one's right here. So that means that if, you know, the 3 has to be either like here, or here, or here, it can't be, it can't include this one, so we know that that one is not a spot. But that doesn't, unfortunately, that doesn't give us any good information for the row. So basically now I'm stuck. I can't find any information anymore. I'm going to start guessing. What if it's this? That wouldn't even really help very much, if that were the answer. The problem with this one is that I can't even really find a spot where if I got it, I would start cruising. This row, if I knew what 3 were on this row, that would help a lot. And I would learn that by knowing, like, if this were a thing, that would help. Or if this were a thing. Yeah, either way, that would help. Okay, alright, here's where we guess. So if that were a thing, then this would have to be a thing, which means these would be X's. Fuck, that doesn't help. Well, that would also give us this. Okay, I'm locking that in. And we're gonna see if this helps at all. It does that. Oh yeah, this game's great. I really, really love this game. I like this. I certainly like this game more than Sudoku. I haven't done a lot of Sudoku though. Some people are really fast at it. So this one, let's really analyze this row. It could be this. It could be this. And it could be this. Fuck. I have not played Celeste, but I've seen a little bit of it, and it looks really good, and I would very much like to play it. In fact, I mean, maybe we should just play that today. I'd buy that game and play it right now. I meant to just kind of relax this game with this game for a little bit, but now it's been 2.5 hours. Yeah, it looked a lot like The End Is Nigh. Okay, what if this is the answer? Let's just... I'm gonna go out on a Minesweeper guess here and say that's the answer. So we're basically minesweeping now. Where, like, sometimes you get in a position in Minesweeper where you just have to guess. Okay, this is so inconclusive as to whether it's correct that I think it must be correct. Because this whole puzzle seems like designed to not confirm whether it's correct, whether you're on the right path. Just like life. But yeah, unlike Minesweeper, in this game, if you make a guess, it's not immediately apparent whether it was correct. You don't just explode and die. You slowly and horribly come to the realization that you've made a large mistake. Just like real life. No! Fuck! We fucked it up! Yep, yeah, that's the thing. We fucked it up. Alright, let's try this one. I'm skipping one. Oh shit, look at this one. What? There's a 15 in it. They're just gonna give it away. Yeah, good night, Melon. I hope you sleep well. This is probably the intention, though. They designed this puzzle to be really easy up until now, and now it's gonna be a real just fucking dick smasher. Yeah. Yeah. Well, man, this has been successful. Just saying, there's quite a turnout for Picross today. It's pretty great. I may switch to something else pretty soon, though. I mean, I've got Mario Odyssey in the system. At any time, we could be playing Mario Odyssey. I've got moons. I've got more moons to collect. Oh yeah, well, the whole game, Rocket Science, is moons, except when you get to the Mushroom Kingdom area, has them as stars just to be cute. To be nostalgic. It's funny when you hit something for a row, and then you think it's going to give you information for the column, but then you look at the column, and the column just brings you to the same conclusion. That one thing, that one piece has to be filled. It happens a lot. Because this whole thing is about, like, you find something that has to be correct, or that has to be true because of the row, and then that makes you change a column, so then that gives you information for that column. Like right here. Okay, so there's 2 here, but it needs to be a 3, which means it's either this one or this one, but it can't be this one. So we X that one off. Oh, now on the column that gives us this one. Oh, now on the row that tells us this. Oh, now on those columns that tells us, you know, this. So, like, that's the whole flow of the game. But sometimes it's funny. You'll see something that has to be true, then look, and you'll see that it's just the same information on the column. The row and the column both point to the same thing having to be that thing. And you're like, damn it. Hi, J-June. How are you? It's good to see you again. Oh, that was almost a big mistake. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky I didn't completely ruin that one. Alright, there we go. Woof! We got it. It was basketball, everybody. It was basketball! Yeah, I'm glad it didn't completely throw me off. Okay, so this one was too hard for me. It's hard to admit when one is too hard for me. But I couldn't do it. Maybe we'll come back to it later. We could also play Mario Odyssey. Hey, Tales of Ville. Alright, here we go. New puzzle. Oh my gosh, this one looks hard. Okay, no, never mind. We got this going on. Okay, that's pretty good. No, what? Excuse me? Oh, I'm dumb. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Oh, yeah, we only know this. Okay, that's all we know. Yeah, there's that one that I just skipped is the first one that I have currently skipped. There was one earlier that I skipped for a while, and then I went back to it and got it pretty quickly. Okay, so then this one is... Okay, this one is a full one. So now we can get rid of those. Is this a 1, 2, 1? Okay. Darn 1s and 2s, they just never add up to enough. Oh my gosh. All of these rows are just completely void of information. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. 3, 2, 2, 2. Yep. Okay. I really like this new marking feature. This didn't used to be a thing. It's very helpful. Ooh. Didn't notice that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I can do the same thing over here. Whoops. Okay. Oh, and wait a minute. We have a little bit of extra information here. Oh! That was important. Okay, this one appears to be mostly symmetrical, which usually symmetrical ones can be a little easier. Like, I'll kind of bet that this is gonna be it, but we're just not sure of that yet. Okay. Oh. Oh, there we go. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, I was... Whoa, wait. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, it's the... Okay. Sometimes I wish there was an undo function. I don't know how exactly the logic on undo would work, but I've just found myself wishing it was there multiple times. Oh, okay. So these actually just get filled in now. Aha. Okay, so yeah, I was wrong about those specifics. Woo! Oh, okay. All right, here's where we're breaking symmetry. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Do 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 do. There's little bits of this song that's constantly playing in this game that reminds me just a tiny bit of Metroid. And as we all know, I really like it when things make me think about Metroid. Mm-hmm. 5, 2, 3. We're almost there. Yeah! Oh, it's a parachute. What game is it that has dudes that look like that, kinda? Like the 4-pixel heads where the top 2 pixels are hair? I don't know. Alright. Well, this one's got some big pieces of information. Let's see. 8, and then 3. So we go 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, and then this is like really similar. We just go one further. 6, 7, 8 dash 1, 2, 3, 4. Except we get those as well. I think. Did I do that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dash 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. But then this one is dash 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that makes sense. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yep. 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 Okay. Alright, alright, alright. That must be the 2. Possibility of there being 2 right there. Okay, is this where it gets hard? This might be where it gets hard. So the other game that I was thinking of playing, which I don't think that we're starting it today because it's too late now, but it is something that is starting very soon, is Earthbound. I think I will be playing Earthbound very soon. Or Megami Tensei 2. Basically, on the day where I decide I'm starting a new RPG, that is the day where I'm going to decide between Earthbound and Megami Tensei 2, but it's probably going to be Earthbound. Yeah, I've never played it. It should be fun. I'm actually looking to get a new emote. A new Peebo emote, which we might have to wait for. Because, she's busy. But, that is something that is going to help the playthrough, I think. Or it certainly will for Megami Tensei. I am looking to get an emote done of note-taking, like furiously taking notes on a notepad. Because I think that that's something that is relevant to the show. I take notes a lot, I like to take notes while I play games. And also, I think that that's something that would be useful in Twitch a lot. A lot of the time, I'm watching a Twitch stream, and I think about how great a note-taking emote would be. But yeah, we'll just have to wait for it to be available, No rush, it's just what I'm thinking about. I think at this point I want to stay on theme with Futaba. And I don't know why, for some reason I don't really want an emote of myself necessarily. I mean, it'd be alright. Oh, but for the record, also, the emote that Melon just used, the blush one, I think that's the one that's getting taken out in order to... I think that's the one that's getting replaced since we only have 3 slots. Just because it's the least original. It's the least unique. But it'll still be on Discord. And maybe I'll, like, put it on Franker Faces also. You can delete something from Franker Faces, right? If other people are using it on their channel, you can just get rid of it. I hope so. That way I could restore it to being for this channel. In case it ever was used elsewhere. I hear you, Chaos Factor. Or like, or what I would want is, can I please have 3 $5 emotes instead of 3 different tiered emotes? You know, like, I would rather just have all 3 emotes be $5 tier. We did it! Alright, alright. Okay. I'm gonna come back to the puzzle that was too hard for me a minute ago. And let's put a time limit on this of like 15 minutes. If I'm stuck in 15 minutes, we'll play Mario Odyssey. How does that sound? Does Mario Odyssey sound aight? Oh, the thing about Celeste is that I still haven't played Hollow Knight. I get it, Foxy. I get it. Reverse psychology. I get it. Trying to get me to play Mario by saying it's terrible. You want me to get all huffy puffy and go, "Oh, you think Mario's terrible? You think Mario's terrible?" And then I'll be forced to show you just how wrong you are through the unmatched awesome gameplay of Super Mario Odyssey. Well, okay, first of all, you're right. It can't actually be that somebody thinks Sonic is better than Mario. That's just ridiculous. But it's also just like, okay, so let's say somebody I know, it's really hard to believe, but let's just say somebody thinks that Sonic is better than Mario. They wouldn't think that they're both bad. You can't say that Mario is bad. They would say that they're both great, but Sonic's a little bit better. Oof. I threw up in my mouth a little bit when I tried to say those words. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, look at this. This is looking a lot like where I was when I got stuck, but, you know. Yeah, some people are a really big fan of classic Sonic games, absolutely. I mean, like, I don't get it, but whatever. People like Sonic. You know, and there are some real Sonic weirdos out there, but, yeah, you know, there's weirdos for everything. Have you seen Sonic Mania, though, Foxy? I mean, Sonic Mania looks pretty cool. I still don't think it's my kind of game. Just because I'm not really into the fast running platforming. I want fun jumping platforming, not really fast running platforming, you know? So, like, it's not really my style, even if it is good. But, you know, Sonic Mania looks alright. Sonic Adventure series, I've seen a little bit of those games, and they look fucking terrible. I mean, I've not played them myself, but they look, honestly, real talk. Sonic Adventure looks just as bad as Sonic 06 to me. Yeah, that too, Foxy. I mean, that's really the big problem. when I was a kid, and I did play Sonic the Hedgehog because my grandma had it on a Genesis at her house, and it was like, video games at grandma's house? No way. Why does my grandma have this video game? I'm gonna play it. You know, when that was the thing, it was always like, I would play the first world of Sonic, right? Play the first world, and I would be like, this is fun. I'm having a reasonably good time with this video game. And then I would get to World 2, and World 2 is where that starts. World 2 is where that, like, awful platforming starts, where you, like, you can never get moving. The game wants you to, like, push blocks and do, like, little movements and stuff. But the game is designed with this, like, slow, sluggishly getting moving character that you're supposed to have momentum with, but you don't. You have to gain that momentum, you know? So yes, I agree that, like, Sonic kind of misses its own point a lot and makes the player slow down too much. What's Freedom Planet? I've never heard of that. This looks very similar to where I was a minute ago. Silent Crow, how are you? Good to see you. It's been a little while. I'm kind of interested in A Hat in Time also, just a little bit. It was Azure? Oh, he made it? Oh! Oh no. According to my rules, I have 8 minutes to get unstuck. I have 8 minutes to figure out what to do here. Fuck. Okay, that's progress. Well, either way, like, Sonic Mania looks alright, so, you know. There's that. That's probably what I would play if I wanted to play Sonic. Actually, if I wanted to play Sonic, I would just play it on Genesis, but that's just not gonna happen. I have been doing very, very well, Crow. I've been fighting off this issue, though, where, like, I think that my stream is pointless and bad. So I've got, like, things that I'm trying to do to, I don't know. It's just, it's something that I never get out of my head. And that's kind of why I'm trying to play a variety of games. I think that more variety is best, and so, you know. And if I, like, keep playing RPGs, I feel like that is variety, because RPGs are great, but, yeah, you know. Today, I wanted to play a little bit of Picross. I am so stuck. Okay, let's really... Oh, no, because this can be... Wait, I've seen this. This can be this. Or it can be this. But either way, this one gets filled. But that still doesn't really help that much. Yeah, because that can be part of the 2. It can be part of the 3, like that. I've already done that. This is about where I got to before when I started guessing. I think this is exactly where I was when I started guessing last time. And here's the problem. I don't remember what my guess was that ended up being wrong. We could look back at the stream and see what my wrong guess was. Actually, I think I remember what it was. Okay, we're guessing. I guessed. There you go. I done it. I guessed. No, that doesn't help me at all! Oh my gosh, that like doesn't even help. It does a little bit. Like so little though. I went with left both times? No. No. I don't think so. Let me talk through why I don't think so. I thought I remembered it being that I went like this, which made me X this, which made me put something here, which then X'd these, and then this turned out to be wrong. That's what I thought happened last time, was it being like this. That's funny, Silent Crow. You know, it's come up for me a few times. A few times I've thought, wonder what that Silent Crow guy is up to. Alright, I'm going back to this for now. We'll see what Chaos Factor comes back with. Okay. I think I've restored it to today's guess now. I think this is back to where we were. Because I thought it was going to give me something down here, but it doesn't. Oh, it gives me this, though. No, it doesn't. I still don't know whether this is this or whether this is this. Let's really look at those options, though. There's this, which this could be any of these. So none of these can be eligible. And then there's this, which shows that this could go either way, this could go either way, these could go either way. Yep, there's just nothing good on that column. Oh, you started Bloodborne. Nice. Okay. I think we have to guess again. Guess again. I am going to guess. Well, this isn't going to help very much if I do this. If I guessed right here, it wouldn't help very much. But I feel like this is like the most reasonable guess right now. Because I think one of these two are the most likely squares to be filled. And I think it's probably going to be this one. It's probably going to be this. But alright, fine. We'll do it. This game, it's pushed me into a corner. Of course, now that still doesn't really help. Alright, I've gone over on time. My self-imposed time limit is up. So it's time for another guess. Oh, okay. Playing with other friends, and well, yeah. Sounds excellent. That game is so good. Man, I can't think of the last time that I just like played a game at somebody's house. I just don't. I mean, I just don't go outside. But I probably do remember it. No. Okay, hang on. We know that this is wrong. So let's just undo a little bit here. I mean, what led me to this wrong conclusion? It was this. It was this part that I guessed on. We know now that that's the 4. I think. This might be beyond repair. Is it beyond repair yet? Let's see. Okay, okay. See, now this is action-packed. Because now we don't know. At any moment, the puzzle could just explode. Oh yeah, I played Smash Bros at a friend's house at, you know, somewhat recently. And by that I mean like within the last 3 years. And then I remember playing Nier at a friend's house, the first one, and just having a good laugh at how bad I thought it was. However, now I really want to play the second one. No, we don't know that. Okay. Because this could be 123-12-12, so yeah. By the way, this is the last puzzle we're doing tonight. But I really want it to be... I really want to solve this. This is just so difficult. No! It exploded! We're done! I can't do it!